Hey friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and this is Mariah's Moods. Welcome to the April edition of It's a Mood TBR game. As usual, very excited, a little apprehensive for this game because March was rough, honestly. We were sick, we traveled, came back and had a hard time with work, so I'm in the process of potentially transitioning careers at the moment. So anxiety is high, and I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to in the month of March, but I'm excited to see what April brings. But before we hop into the game, let's do a quick little wrap up of March. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I will be posting a quarterly wrap up and going over all the books I read so far this year. In the month of March, I finished 7 books and I DNF'd 1. I participated in the middle grade March readathon. So I read 4 middle grade books. So I read Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, gave this 3 stars. Nice little middle grade horror. Then I read The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. This is the first book in the series of unfortunate events, my first time reading it. I think it was okay. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. It was very short but very great, impactful. Just read it. It's really, really great. Then finally for middle grade March, I read Blended by Sharon M. Draper. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Then I continued on and I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Really, really enjoyed this one. Definitely want to get to the next one. So then I picked up Gothicana by Runix, and I DNF'd at 125 pages. I just wasn't into it. I was hoping for a little bit more. I think for 120 pages, some more things should have happened and nothing happened, which I don't mind a slow burn romance, but I need more to the plot too. It just really wasn't happening for me. So I'm going to soft DNF this one. I'm not going to say that I'll never finish it, but just wasn't the time. And then finally, I ended March with a banger. And I mean, are we really surprised? And I don't think that we are. And I read Caught Up by Liz Tomford. You know, the audiobook narrators say her name both ways. So I don't, Tomfordy or Tom Ford? I don't know. But I ended up giving this 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Can she write a bad male character? I don't think so. I don't think so, because Kai is fantastic. And I really like Miller. I really related to Miller. So this was wonderful and just what I needed to wrap up the month. Now, we're not going to talk about Way of Kings. We're not going to talk about Way of Kings. When I chose Way of Kings last month, you know, I had high expectations. I knew that we would be traveling. So I thought, hey, this would be a great opportunity to put it on audio and just listen as we're going on a road trip. But, you know, I did have kids in the car with me. So it was very hard to focus on the story and the chaos behind me and driving, and it just wasn't working. And then I tried to tandem read it and I just could not get into it. And so I just feel like March just had too much going on, and I feel like Way of Kings needs its own moment. So we'll see when that happens. So that was my quick little wrap up for the month of March. So with that, I did not finish my TBR. I did not get 50% through Way of Kings, and I didn't finish, I think I also had One Dark Window, didn't have an opportunity to pick that one up. So unfortunately for our game, we are going to have to do 6 spins instead of 5, which is okay. I'm hopeful. I'm going to be very selective with my books in April because April is another busy month for me. So hopefully the April game is kind to me and we get some picks and I'm able to choose some books that aren't going to be overwhelming. But we shall see. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the game. All right, friends, welcome to the April edition of It's a Mood TBR. Before we hop into the game, let's do a quick wrap up. At the end of the March game, I had 11 book tokens. I finished 7 books in the month of April, which means that I get to collect 7 more book tokens for the game, but I did not finish the TBR, so I do have to add a spin to today's game, which means that we're going to have 6 spins. But let's go ahead and add our 7 book tokens. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that brings us to a total of 18 book tokens for the game thus far. Okay, so we have our car ready to go from the last space from the last game. Let's go ahead and do spin number 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got a mood spot. So I'm gonna grab my mood cards, give them a good shuffle, and see what we end up with. OOTD, pick a book that matches your outfit. This one was fun last time, so I'm good with it. You know, for this first pick, I think that we're doing okay. We do have a repeat, but I'm okay with it. It is OOTD, pick a book that matches your outfit. I feel like I just need to start wearing like ridiculous things to see if I can get books to match my outfit. So right now, I'm just wearing this black top. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it has like these pink little like roses and like greenery on it. So we're gonna try and find a book that matches this kind of print. Okay, so I have 3 options. I feel like they either match the colors of my shirt or like the vibe of the shirt, like florals, like pink florals. So the first one I have is Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is a recent haul, but you know, it's got like the pinks like with the flowers, and it's got the greenery, and it's really cute. So I think that kind of goes with like the vibe of the shirt. Option number 2 is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This again has more florals, it's more of a darker tone, but lots more green. I don't know. And then my last option, which I feel like it's kind of a stretch, but I really want to read this book, and that is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. Again, we've got some greenery, we've got some purples. I feel like they kind of go together, but I cannot decide which one I should go with. Don't really remember what Throne of the Fallen was about. I think we've got some enemies to lovers, fantasy romance. That was a great pitch. Powerless is a YA romantasy, I believe. That's all I know about that one. And then When Women Were Dragons is a magical realism, maybe like more of a speculative fiction about a time when women spontaneously just turned into dragons and kind of the aftermath of that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to pick for this one. I will probably put up a poll to kind of figure out which one I will go with for this pick. Okay, let's go ahead with spin number 2. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another mood. So I'm going to grab my mood cards, give them a good shuffle. See what we come up with. There is Power in Numbers. Pick a book with a number in the title. This one's gonna be tough. All right, so for the next one we have There is Power in Numbers. Pick a book with a number in the title. This one was very tough. I only have 2 books on my shelves that have a number in the title. One was on my TBR for last month, and that's One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. And then the other one is 5th Season by M.K. Jemisin. I don't know which one to pick. Again, I'm being very indecisive today, but I think it's because I know April is going to be busy, and I'm just a little scared. So I have the romantasy where our main character basically has to hide her powers while working for this kingdom. I think she has to work with like an enemy, maybe turn into lovers. That's what I know about this one. 5th Season is, I think, more of a dystopian novel. Basically, the Earth goes through all these major seasons, and we're getting ready to maybe go through the 5th season, and it's going to be like disastrous, and I think how people are responding to that, I could be very wrong. This has been on my TBR for so long. I've been so excited about this book. It's also kind of become like an intimidating book. So I don't know. This one I feel like it's going to be much more digestible. So I think I'm going to go with One Dark Window. We're just going to move this over from March's TBR. I think that's the safe bet. Okay, spin number 3. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was close. So close. All right, another Mood. Pick it up. Give it a shuffle. And this one feels right. Book talk sometimes slaps. Pick a book talk favorite. Oh no. Okay, the next one, book talk sometimes slaps. Pick a book talk favorite. I'll be honest, I'm not super excited about this pick. I think it's because I have not been on book talk or like looked at TikTok in months, so I don't even know what they're pushing right now over there. But I do know that there's been a couple of like book talk favorite books that I've read that I just like was not a fan of. So this one makes me a little apprehensive, but I did have a couple of options on my shelves, but I think I want to go ahead and choose Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I think this one was floating around TikTok for a while, and it probably is still there. I feel like when I see like Instagram reels and sometimes like the occasional like book talk that a friend sends to me, and they like kind of have like a flash of recommendations or some type of like edit that has like lots of series that they recommend, I feel like this series tends to pop up, and it is something that I'm interested in. So we're following Juliet that has this like very like deadly power. I don't really remember what that is, but she lives basically in this like world called the establishment or the reestablishment, and they basically plan to use her for a weapon. And I think at some point she maybe like escapes from them, or basically has to decide, is she going to work with the reestablishment or is she going to rebel, and what is she going to do with this power that she has? So this is a long series, and I know many people love it, so I am excited to give this a try. I just hope that book talk is not wrong, and it does in fact slap when it comes to this book. Okay, spin number 4. Oh my God. 1. You know, just couldn't make it to the stop sign. We just had to stop on that one. Oh my. All right, here we go. Pick them up. Give them a good shuffle and see what April has in store. Let's see. Finish what you start. Pick an unfinished book. You know, I think this might work to our advantage. This might be okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Right when I thought that we were gonna have a smooth month, and things are gonna go great, we land on a nightmare. So our nightmare prompt is finish what you start. Pick an unfinished book. Okay, so I feel like this is a little bit different than a DNF. A DNF is like intentionally like, I'm not reading this anymore. I'm done. An unfinished book for me is something that I was interested in. I was reading, but maybe I got distracted. I just put it down for whatever reason, got excited about another book, and I just never finished it, but I still intended to finish it. So then I remember that I had Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, and I did start reading this a couple months ago, and I just never finished it. I got to chapter 8, which is only 64 pages in. I was enjoying it, but I think I was just getting excited about other books, and I just put it down and then kind of forgot to pick it back up. So I definitely want to continue reading this. So this one is following Ada, who is basically a part of this like Gallows family, and there's like these dual families, the Gallows and the Griffins, the Gallows and the Griffins, and they're like rival families, and Ada is the youngest of them, and she basically crashes this party, this Griffin party, and it's like scandalous. And so as a part to deal with the scandal, the like patriarch of the Griffin family basically says that Ada has to marry his oldest son, Callum. So it's like a forced marriage, like marriage of convenience. I don't even know what to say that. Basically like an arranged marriage. And Callum apparently is like pretty brutal. So I'm probably going to start over because I honestly don't remember anything about this. So yeah, that'll be our nightmare prompt. So I guess this was like the best option or like the best outcome for our nightmare, but we'll see. So for spin number 5. We've made it to the stop sign. So this is the fantasy stop sign. So we are here. You are being forced to sacrifice your powers. Pay 2 book tokens to keep your powers, or sacrifice your powers and choose a nightmare prompt. Okay, here's the thing. We just did a nightmare, and I don't trust the universe to be on our side. So we're gonna go ahead and sacrifice the 2 book tokens, keep our powers, and keep it moving. So if I take away 2 book tokens, we are down to 16, still really good. So I'm okay with sacrificing our 2 book tokens and not picking another nightmare for the month, because 2 would just be too much. So for spin number 5, I can go either this route or that route. And that guy right there is scaring me. So we're gonna continue on the long way. We're gonna go the long way around, hoping that we're okay. So here we go, spin number 5. 7. I swear this better get me past that nightmare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. April, come on. You know March was shitty. April, okay, so we've got another nightmare. Yay, another nightmare. All right, so here we go. Grab them, shuffle them up. Oh, please be okay, please be okay. Don't overthink it, pick an intimidating read. Okay, you know, it's okay. It's all right. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so great. I try and do the right thing. I try and just, get past the fact that, I don't want another nightmare. So I pay my 2 tokens to avoid the nightmare, only to land on another nightmare prompt. Listen, April, homegirl, March was an ass. I had issues with March, and I was coming to you, April, with high hopes that, this would be just like a smoother ride, that we could just hang and enjoy our time reading some books. But no, you decide to choose violence and give me another nightmare, even though I was trying to do the right thing. And then not only that, we land on, don't overthink it, pick an intimidating book. I'm just kidding. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I think that what I'm going to do is just move these over. I'm just going to move these over. Do I think I'm going to finish these in the month of April? Absolutely not. Will I try and at least finish part 1? Yes, and I think that's more manageable. I think that's more acceptable. And so if I finish at least part 1, I can count it for a win. So that's the strategy. That's what we're doing. We're going to just move Way Kings over and really try and sit down and get at least part 1 complete. Do I still know what this book's about? No. Hopefully, April, we have a better time together and we can get this at least done, like at least this one. We'll see. Okay, so here we go. Final spin, the 6th spin. No nightmares in our course for quite a while, so we should be in the clear. So here we go with our 6th and final spin. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what, April, maybe you're not so bad. Because we landed on a bookish activity, which I don't think we've ever had in the game. So I'm really excited about this one, and that'll make up for the 2 nightmares. So April, homegirl, I guess you're not so bad. So here we go. These are the bookish activity cards. So these aren't necessarily going to result in me reading a specific book, but rather doing something bookish. Could be going to the bookstore, could be reading at the library, could be something interactive with you guys, like hosting sprints, which would be terrifying but fun. So we'll see what we come up with. I'm going to shuffle them and see what bookish activity we will do. Time for a challenge. Complete a 24-hour readathon. April. we're like April, when this is done, we're gonna have to have talk. We're gonna have to have powwow. Because when I thought we were picking a bookish activity, this would be something that's easy and like we can go to like a bookstore, we could go to a coffee shop, we could even do some sprints. But no, you decide to give me a challenge that this month is going to be so hard to do, and that is complete a 24-hour readathon. I'm gonna have like no downtime this month, which is fantastic. So we'll see how this one goes. This will be a vlog that will be posted at some point this month. Don't know when, don't know which books I will include in it, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I have high hopes. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it'll be fine. So we reached the end of our game. In May, we will start right there. At the end of this game, we have 16 book tokens. We are, I'm gonna say probably about halfway around the board, if not a little more than halfway around the board, which is pretty quick. So yeah, I will catch you guys later. So this is our potential TBR for the month of April. I'm gonna need help figuring out our first prompt here. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. It'll be fine. That's all I have to say. I'm scared. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all of the things. I hope you're having a wonderful time out there. I hope your day is full of good moods and good vibes, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.